Pittsburgh, ahoy mateys, and ahoy Pride and Patterson, and ahoy my new subscribers. This is Pittsburgh Pirates Out of the Park Baseball 25, and we have 2 games to go with Paul Skenes in this episode, so I'm not going to waste much time, and we're going to get right into it. Really quickly though, of course I say I'm not going to waste much time, and then I wasted a little time. Between this video and the last video, I actually decided not to trade Quinn Priester just yet. We'll kind of push a little bit closer to the deadline. I called him up to AAA, and really quickly, I wanted to, and I'm going to go ahead and do trade options, shop player around, and we will take a look at what's available to us. I set up a short list that I added some of these guys to. So if you look, short list, I added a Quinn Priester short list to remind me of who I'm kind of eyeing on that. And I'll add some more guys to that as it gets closer to wanting to trade him. But I wanted to give him just a quick little run in AAA. I kind of decided that I might want to settle for Mason Montgomery, but then it was kind of a situation of, do I want to trade a left-handed 23-year-old prospect pitcher for a left-handed 23-year-old prospect pitcher? It kind of seemed like a wash to me. So as long as he's still floating out there, I feel comfortable delaying on this little. There are a couple guys that I wanted to add to this short list, though. If I can kind of go through and see if I remember who is available. Blake Sable was one of the guys that I wanted to add to that, so I'm going to go ahead and do short list, add to Quinn Priester. And for those of you who are not familiar with the ability to do this, I can just create a new short list if I would like, name it whatever I want, and I'll have guys specific to that short list. I like keeping guys separated that way, just so it's a little bit easier to find them, rather than throwing everyone on the regular short list. Just doing a quick run through here before I just officially decide to get out of here. And I think, for now, I'll just get out of here. I'm going to scroll through here. If you guys see anyone exciting on here that you think I should take a deeper look at, let me know. But I think we're just going to get right into it and play our first game against the Colorado Rockies. Really quickly, I wanted to go into the league standings. You can see we're still at the bottom of the division. We're not terribly too far out of the middle of the pack there, but it'd be nice if we were doing a little bit better. 4th worst in the National League. We're playing against a team worse than us in this first game, and we're playing against the Reds, who we're kind of neck and neck with. So I think we should be able to pick up wins in our 2 simulated games. I'm hoping we're going to win at least 4 of the 6 if we include the sims. But let's go ahead and shoot straight to Game 1, Colorado versus Pittsburgh at Colorado. And really quickly, I just wanted to point out I did make some minor changes to my lineups. Changed my depth charts a little bit. We're going to leverage Henry Davis a little bit more instead of going with the switch between him and Yasmani Grandal. I think we have Nick Gonzalez and Gordon now switching off more frequently at second base. I think I like the way my lineup looks going in here. We're not very good against lefties, but I'm hoping that we can get some fire spark in here. One thing I actually do want to do, I was looking a little bit more into it, and Jack Sawinski's got a good on-base percentage against lefties. He's been very patient. I kind of want to reward that by putting him in front of someone who is a decent hitter. So I think I'm actually going to put him in the 5 spot here. We'll swap him and Brian Reynolds. Actually, I'm going to switch him and Henry Davis. It seems kind of counterproductive. And I think I'm actually going to make one more small adjustment. I'm going to move O'Neal Cruz to the 2 spot in front of Nick Gonzalez. None of our righties have been particularly good this season, though, so it's hard to kind of justify leveraging on any of them. But let's see if we can get something going here. Paul Skenes versus Kyle Freeland. Let's go ahead and start the game. All right, Olivares to start things off, and we'll get the big block of text after this happens. He's going to ground out over to third base, and we start the game with an out. And come on. All right. So O'Neill Cruz hitting second, 2-1 count, pitch right down the middle. And Cruz pops up out into right field. Routine play for Blackman, and that's 2 down. Here comes Nick Gonzalez hitting in the 3-hole, and that looks like it could be a double up the middle. Yeah, it's going to be right over the center field's head. And Gonzalez is going to slide in there with a 2-out double. Terrible play in the outfield there by Adam Duvall. And Rowdy Tellez now with a runner in scoring position. Takes a 4-pitch walk, going right into Brian Reynolds. Full count, and Reynolds takes the walk. So pressure on Freeland to get things done. 2 runners in scoring position now. Let's see if Sawinski can capitalize. 2-2 count. Sawinski strikes out swinging. Freeland gets out of the jam, but we made him pitch 25 pitches. So even though we get nothing on the scoreboard, at least keeping that pitch count up is helpful. And let's see how Paul Skenes does now in start number 2 on the season for him. Bouchard up, and he strikes out on the full count to get things going for Skenes. Adam Duvall up second, 3-1 count, and that'll be a walk. Nolan Jones up third, and the middle of the lineup is going to be the scariest for us for sure. You see there, Nolan Jones hitting that double into the gap. Should be an RBI. We'll see. I keep forgetting to change the camera here. So Duvall actually does hang up over at third, and I'm debating if I want to intentionally walk McMahon. I think I'm going to do that, and then I will play the infield in here and hope that I get something good. Unfortunately, that was not something good. It's going to be a double exactly in the same place. Skenes giving up 2 runs there, possibly 3. Not the business. All right, go ahead and visit the mound. Says he's fine. We'll do another intentional walk, and then we'll do another infield in, trying to get that out at home or the strikeout. 2-2 count to Tovar, and he strikes him out. And here is Elias Diaz. Makes contact out into center field. Should be an easy play for Sawinski, and he has got him. So 2 runs plate, unfortunately for Skenes, off that double by Chris Bryant. But I think we have it in us to cut that lead a little. Henry Davis starts the second inning with a walk, and we'll have Brian Hayes swing away. Makes contact right up the middle. Should be an easy single, and we have men at first and second now with no outs. Andrew McCutcheon, who has had a rough go of things as of late. I'm actually going to... I'm going to try and bunt him over. And that did not work out very well. Full count here. Makes contact, and that will make it through. So now it looks like base is loaded. No, we're actually going home with it, and that is safe. So an RBI double for Andrew McCutcheon. Perfect, perfect. Keeping that pressure up. 2-men in scoring position now. No outs. Eddie Olivares up, and he will hit hard over to third base. 1 down. Not enough to be a sacrifice, but let's see what O'Neill Cruz can do here. Full count coming, and he goes down swinging. And we have blown those 2 outs now. Nick Gonzalez, we'll see if he can get things going. He does not. Strikes out to end the inning. We leave 2 stranded. Not the best second, but we do play to run. Let's see if Skenes can get back on track here. First batter is going to be a ground single right through the gap in second base. And Nick Gonzalez unable to make the play. Hilliard over on base, and we're going to throw to first to keep him honest. He is a threat to steal. Go ahead and pitch to Bichard now. Makes contact right over there. Everyone is sending the ball out to right field. Ooh, tough play over at third, but Hilliard comes in safe. Duvall up now. He'll strike out. Nolan Jones will intentionally walk him and see if we get the same luck, or better luck than we had the last time we got in this situation. And thrown home, gets the out at home. That's exactly what we were hoping for. Would have liked to have gotten the double play, but at least we'll prevent the run from scoring. Chris Bryant up now, 3-1 count. Hopefully we don't walk in a run, and we do walk in a run. So, tough second start for Skenes, but he's a young man with a long way to go. Strikes out the last batter of the inning, fourth strikeout of the game, and at least you like to see that. Only surrenders one, and let's see if we can shave that off again. Tellez makes contact to start off the third, but it's a ground out over to second. Ryan McMahon, easy play. Brian Reynolds hitting second on the 0-1 count. Makes contact, shoots it out into left field. Should be an easy grab for Hilliard, and he does grab it. Sawinski hitting third. Hopefully not another strikeout, but... Oh, he actually does make contact, but going to be a nice diving play out in right field for Charlie Blackmon to end the inning. I think the first inning with no base runners for Colorado, so not good for us. Let's see if Skenes can get him to settle down. All right, that ball took a wild curve out into left field. Great play by Brian Reynolds to get under it, and that is one down. Diaz up now with the full count. And shoots it right up the middle to get on base. Unfortunate result after a tough at-bat. Skenes has now pitched 58 through 2 1/3, so not a very efficient outing for him, just as it's not for not Hilliard. Sorry, Freeland. I'm losing my mind a little. Apologies. 3-1 count coming into Bichard, and it's probably going to be a walk, but it is not. Just over Key Brian Hayes' head, and it is going to be, I think, a single. Yeah, single, but puts runners on the corners. Adam Duvall has struck out in his last at bat. He'll walk this time, 4 straight pitches into the walk. And Skenes, it's getting a little alarming for me. I'm going to have Holderman start warming up, and we will go visit the mound one more time. Let's see if you can get out of it. 1-2 count coming into Jones. Makes contact, but it should be out number 3, and it is. Good play by Nick Gonzalez, and we escape with none on the board. Now let's see if the offense can get things going. Former first-round pick Henry Davis starts the fourth off with an easy fly out to right for Charlie Blackmon. Key Brian Hayes with the 1-2 count, and he makes contact. Should be... Oh, no. Thought it was going to make it, but good play by Duvall. And that is out number 2. Now here's Kutch, who had a solid single in his last at bat. He'll walk this time, and that is enough for Kyle Freeland, as Anthony Molina will come in the third. So Freeland only gets 2 2/3, or sorry, in the fourth, 3 2/3. And I think I'm going to send McCutcheon. Doesn't quite have the speed, but he's a crafty veteran. 65 on his stealing skill, I guess. Scouting report. So nothing's happening. Olivares will make contact. That's going to be deep into a right center gap. Over the wall. 2-run home run, and we are tied up. Eddie Olivares, not known for his power, but he sends that one 415 feet. His 4th homer of the season. And it is now 3-3. Huge 2-out home run for the ex-Royal. O'Neal Cruz shooting that one out into left. Diving catch for Hilliard, and he grabs it. That'll retire the side, but the Pittsburgh Pirates are back in it. Everything is knotted up. And we'll get Colderman to sit down a little and see how Skenes does going into the fourth. So he's not striking people out anymore, even though he's getting those 2-strike counts. One down to start the inning. Chris Bryant up with the 1-1 count. Makes contact. Sawinski's going to run for it, and he grabs it. Similar play to Adam Duvall in the last inning. That's 2 down, and on the first pitch, Charlie Blackmon will make contact, shoots it out into right field, and Olivares is going to have to chase it into the corner, and should be an easy double for Charlie Blackmon. So a runner in scoring position now. Skenes in a little bit of trouble. Back end of the lineup here, though. I think I'm actually going to get Aroldis Chapman going. And Skenes strikes him out to end the side, his 6th of the game, 6 through 4 innings. And it is still all tied up at 3 after 4. So Anthony Molina is still on the mound. It was only 6 pitches for him, but 2 of those led to 2 runs. That looks like it's going to be a Texas leaguer in there for Nick Gonzalez to start off the 5th. And Molina is having a tough time here. We'll have Rowdy Tellez swing away, and he makes contact, shoots it right over to first base. And that'll be an easy force out at first. But Bryant throws it up to Tovar at second base, and Nick Gonzalez is in there. So we do have a runner in scoring position. Let's see if we can bring him in. Brian Reynolds will get pitched around and takes a 4-pitch walk. And that brings up Jack Sawinski, who entered the game on fire, but I believe is 0 for 2 right now. Makes contact, shoots it out into right field. Blackmon should be able to get under it, and does so easily. Gonzalez unable to advance, and it is now up to Henry Davis, who was clutch in the first month of this season, but grounds out to end the inning there. All right, so we are halfway through this game now. It is 3-3. Paul Skenes will probably end his run here. I think I'm going to try and get him to Duvall, and then we'll go to Chapman. But we'll see if he gets in trouble before that. So ground out over to third base to Key Brian Hayes to start the inning. Hilliard, who's playing injured right now, shoots it up to Sawinski in center. Should be an easy play, and it is, and that's 2 down. And the full count for Sean Pichard. Makes contact, hits it to O'Neal Cruz, and that should be the inning. It is. So Skenes goes through 5, just a lot less efficient than his last game, and that will probably be it for him, as we'll go to the bullpen, probably Aroldis Chapman, who will hope to get 2 out of, but we'll see where it goes. So our leadoff batter, Key Brian Hayes, grounds out to start the inning. Andrew McCutchen strikes out for out number 2. And Eddie Olivares, who had that big 2-run homer in his last at-bat, striking out there. Molina, I guess, has gotten on track. And here comes Aroldis Chapman. All right, first batter of the game for Chapman. 1-2 count, hoping for the strikeout. He got him. 1 up, 1 down, and now here comes those 2 big lefties in the middle of the lineup. This is why we went with Chapman. And he strikes out Nolan Jones. Ryan McMahon up next. Does not strike out the side. Ryan McMahon out into left center gap and slides in there for a double. Not the result we were hoping for. And now with Chris Bryant up and Charlie Blackmon on deck, I'm going to just take a look at the scouting report. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the intentional walk thing, just because I would rather face the lefty. And of course they go with Montero, but I don't think he's particularly great against left-handed hitters, so I still think it's a better matchup. Makes contact on the first pitch, and that might be an RBI single. We're going to get a big play at the plate. Olivares throws, beats him, and that is going to be a tremendous outfield assist. So Eddie Olivares doing it on both sides of the plate. And we are still knotted up at 3. Tremendous defensive play. Don't see a ton of those in this game. O'Neal Cruz to start off the 7th. Makes contact, but right to Chris Bryant over at first. And that's 1 away. Nick Gonzalez with the full count. And he takes the walk. This is Noel Vela, who started the inning. Pitch into Rowdy Tellez here. First pitch, Tellez makes contact. Should be a double into the gap. Might be enough to bring him home. We'll see what our third base coach does. And yeah, he's going home. Big throw to the plate. Looks slow. It's going to take a heavy bounce. Actually, it looks like Gonzalez did not attempt to go home. So we left him stranded. Let's see if Brian Reynolds can at least get a sacrifice here, but it's not looking good with the 0-2 count, and he strikes out. Yikes. All right, Jack Swinski, 2-2. Makes contact, shoots it out to left field. Diving catch, and that is going to be it. 2 men in scoring position stranded. Tough way to get out of that, but what can you do? Rolls Chapman to start things off against Tovar, and there's a strikeout. Looks like that was 7 pitches to get there. Let's see, Diaz, Hilliard, just kind of figuring out where I'm at in terms of my bullpen arms. I think I'm going to get Holderman and Perez going. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. Makes contact over to Tellez. Should be an out, and it is. And I think this will be the last guy for Chapman. First pitch, Hilliard makes contact. It's going to be a tough play, but Olivares gets under it. And that is the 7th inning. Still knotted up 3-3. All right, here comes these right-handed bats at the back end of the lineup. Hopefully they'll be able to do some damage to Vela. Henry Davis to start things off. 0-1 count. And he makes contact, just a slow dribbler back to Vela. 1 down. Key Brian Hayes up now. 1-2 count. Making contact, shoots it over to third. But it dies in the grass. Nolan Jones, easy play, and that is out number 2. And here comes Andrew McCutcheon, who started the game on fire. He's actually responsible for 2 of our 3 runs in this game, but tough strikeout there. And that will be the top of the 8th. Doing a little manager math in my head as Aroldis Chapman comes out here against Sean Bouchard, and I think I'm just going to keep Chapman in. First batter, Bouchard makes contact, shoots it out into right, and unfortunately that is going to fall in. We have a base runner. Go ahead and throw to first. And I'm going to go with Martin Perez. Wait, what just happened there? There we go. All right, so Duvall, his first batter. Another little dribbler out into right field that Olivares can't get to. Bouchard doesn't advance past second, though. And here comes Nolan Jones. This is why I put Perez in. I'd rather have him against these lefties, but nothing doing. A big double out into the corner. Should bring in at least 1, possibly 2. And it does bring in 2. That turns into a triple for Nolan Jones. McMahon striking out. Just absolutely hate to see that. I go with Holderman here now. Full count to Bryant. Hoping for the strikeout. Bryant makes contact. It's going to be short into left field. Should not be far enough. Yeah, O'Neal Cruz is actually the one that gets to it. And Hunter Goodman, 2-2 count. There's the strikeout. But they do put 2 on the board, and this might be a L for Pittsburgh. But we've seen some late inning heroics this season. Let's see if we can get it going again. Jalen Beeks coming in to get the save. Olivares down third base line, and it gets past Nolan Jones, and we have a base runner. So things are starting. Ooh, that was a double. Aggressive base running for Eddie Olivares. Love to see it. O'Neal Cruz, who's been our biggest hero this season. Let's see if he can be a hero here. 2-2 count. Makes contact out into the gap, but I think it's going to hang up, and it does. Goodman gets to it. 1 down. Nick Gonzalez. He's had some heroics this season. And that's going to be another out. And we are down to our last out here. Rowdy Tellez up against Beeks. Full count. Makes contact. I think we are tied up. And we are. Rowdy Tellez. Get rowdy. It is 5-5. On the last pitch of the game, we'll keep this going a little bit longer. And now we got to look at our bullpen, and I think we're going to just have to get Bednar going up no matter what. All right, Brian Reynolds up now. 3-1 count. His last at bat was a strikeout. This one will be a flyout to center field, but we kept the game alive at least for one more inning. And here comes Colin Holderman. I guess not for one more inning. They end it here. Bottom of the ninth, full count. Holderman makes contact, but right to Cruz. 1 down. Diaz up now, another full count. And another contact to a middle infielder, this time grounder to Gonzalez, and that's 2 away. Here comes Sam Hilliard. And in 3 pitches, he goes down looking. We're going to 10. All right, so Sawinski to start things off. Full count, he takes the walk. And here comes Henry Davis, another full count. Tyler Kinney has come in now. Sorry, Kinley. Missed that L. Davis makes contact, should be an RBI. We're going to get a throw home, but nope. It is going to be an easy score for Brian Reynolds, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have taken the lead. Arrgh. Plunder that booty. Let's go, Bucks. All right, so Key Brian Hayes can't do anything there. Easy fly out to Adam Duvall. Andrew McCutcheon. Nothing doing there, so he was clutching out in the beginning of the game, but not late here. And let's see what Eddie Olivares can do. Strikes out looking, but we do get the go-ahead run, and in comes David Bednar. Been on fire. I think he's leading closers in the All-Star voting so far. Strikes out his first batter, Bouchard. Duvall, full count. He will strike out looking. And Nolan Jones, who's been a thorn in my side all game, I'm going to intentionally walk him into Ryan McMahon. 0-1 count. McMahon makes contact, but that should be the game, and we pulled one out of nowhere. Pittsburgh Pirates manufacturing wins. Probably our biggest win all season against a not very good Rockies team, but in a game that you need to win like that to stay afloat, we won it. And there you go. What a comeback victory. On the last pitch of the game, Rowdy Tellez keeps us alive, and we pull through. Rowdy Tellez is the player of the game, of course, because of that, but I think you could make a case for Eddie Olivares as well. But a huge game, even though Skenes didn't look great. 3 earned through 5. He did get the 6 strikeouts. You'd like to see him be a little bit more efficient than that, but all in all, we did what we came to do, and that's win. And so we took the first game of the series. Let's see what happens with the next 2. All right, game 2. Simulate that one. This is going to be a loss, unfortunately. Mitch Keller not doing great, and that's out after, I think, his simulated 1 out away from a no-hitter performance. So tough follow-up, but what can you do there? It looks like the bats... we weren't cold. Just could have done better, I guess. No, not hitting in clutch situations. Marquez will get the next start for Colorado, and that's another loss. So we lose the series. Unfortunately, that's not what you want at all. Roansy Contreras is terrible in this performance. 6 earned through 5. Marquez was fantastic. 9 strikeouts through 8 innings. Only gave up 4 hits. The bats were ice cold. All right, and then we'll look really quickly. National League All-Star voting, as I said, Bednar is in the lead there. I'll just do a quick walkthrough of the other positions, but I'm sure we have nobody over there. We're going to do our manual voting as it gets closer to the All-Star game, but not going to do that just yet. Our head scout, Drew Toussaint, giving us a little intel on some interesting guys. So we got a scouting report on Thomas Zapucki, I guess is how you'd pronounce that. I'll go find some intel on him and get better at pronouncing that name. Looks like he's a guy who could be a spot starter with the 40 stamina, but likely going to be a bullpen guy. Someone in the Giants organization. I think I was scouting him because he came up on a shop around report. Let's go ahead and simulate some games in the Cincinnati series here. Simulate game 1. That's a big win. Divisional game against Cincinnati. Nate Martinez gets the loss against Eric Lauer, who goes scoreless through 6, only 3 hits allowed. All in all, this is exactly what you're looking for out of our pitching staff. We'll get Abbott up next, and I just want to double check that I'm going to do the Skenes game, and I'm not. It should be JT Brubaker here. And another win. Rockies available to come off the injured list, and we'll look at it. This looks like another big comeback victory. So Cincinnati looked like they were going to come back, and then we pulled it off late in the game. Bednar with the blown save. Brubaker looked good. 9 strikeouts through 5 1/3. I'd like to see him go all 6. Might have gotten in trouble in the 6. He actually didn't. So interesting. Wonder why they pulled him there, but looks like all the big heroics were late in the game, including Brian Reynolds, and Eddie Olivares got hit by a pitch to end the game, it looks like. So, wow, that's a tough one to swallow if you're the Reds. So we can come out of the 6-game series with what we were hoping to get, which was 4 wins and 2 losses at a bare minimum. We'll have Skenes against Hunter Green. This will be an interesting big-time prospect matchup here. Green, obviously a little bit more seasoned than Skenes, both big-time strikeout arms. So we'll see how this one goes.